Hi everyone, this is Nicole at Dunrovin Ranch. I'm here with this cutie, Oggy, and Brandon on camera. Hi Brandon, how's it going?
Hi Nicole, how are you doing? When you said I'm here on camera with this cutie, I'm thinking, hey.
I was like, I'm looking at a camera. But yeah.
It's worth a good try anyway. How are you doing today?
I'm good. It's pretty toasty out today, but there's a nice breeze. So
I was gonna ask about that. It looks like you got some harsh sunlight, like it's pretty warm there. So, which is always a consideration when we're playing with the horses. If it's super hot, then we don't work them too hard because they don't like that. They get cranky. We get cranky. We even get so cranky that if we won a lottery, we would probably be annoyed. So. Well, tell us what has happened since we met last week. How's he been? What have you been doing?
Well, we've just been working on what you taught us last week. Oggy's still being pretty stubborn at the rail. When I ask him to move, he's tried to run me over a couple of times.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
He does really well when I'm leading him around and I stop and ask him to back up. He does really good with that.
Good.
So, yeah.
Yeah, he's just trying to exert himself by doing that. He's just being super aggressive by pushing you around, and of course that's something we can't have. So keep working on that. It doesn't look to me like if you move next to him pretty close, will he push into you?
Oh, we'll see.
Yeah, it's always good to test that and see what he does. Of course he's watching you, and I'm just wondering if he's gonna. Yeah. He's leaning into you. So here it comes. So there's a little tail flip there. I don't know if you saw that or not, but just a kind of an annoying tail flip. So we're going to do a lot of the same stuff. We're setting him up for the ability to push you around so that you can correct him. And this is a win-win for you, but it's also a very hard win, as you found out last week. This is not easy, and it's if you're dealing with if you're dealing with a horse that's pretty neutral in their aggressiveness and he's spoiled. But if you get with a horse that's not, it doesn't usually take a lot to turn their minds and get them to yield to you. But when they're spoiled like this, he thinks he's been able to basically run off, several other people, and we have to undo that in his mind. And so that has to go through you and your hands, and I give you the tool about using your thumb. Did you ever see the movie The Presidio? Does that ring a bell with you? Yeah, Sean Connery and Mark Harmon, and it was really a really high drama, and it shows Sean Connery getting into a bar fight, and it says that he's going to use his left thumb or his right thumb, one of them, because his left one is much too powerful for the guy he's going to fight, and he beat the snot out of this guy with just his thumb. That's kind of where we need you to be. So you might want to brush up and watch yourself a movie called The Presidio. it's kind of funny. I think of that often because I've been using my thumbs for years just to push a horse. Is just using that fine point of pressure. And if you do that on the palm, if you put your palm of your hand up and then put your thumb and push into the palm of your hand and just push against it and feel how much pressure you can put into your own hand with your own thumb, with your other hand. So the thumb of your left hand.
Oh, my right hand.
There you go. Or whichever. You're left-handed or right-handed?
I'm left-handed.
You are left-handed. Okay. So take your left hand and take that thumb and then push that into the palm of your hand just as hard as you can, and feel that fine point, how that hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now just take the palm of your hand instead of using your thumb and push against the other palm of your hand. And there's no pressure. It doesn't hurt. You can push as hard as you want, and you feel all the pressure in your shoulders and arms, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the whole point of when I ask you to use your thumbs, and why we use our thumbs is that when you push on them, it doesn't hurt, it's not uncomfortable, and in fact it gives them something to push against. And so that's why when you use your thumb, you push and release, and and make that last not even a tenth of a second. And this is an exercise I always do in a lot of clinics about when you're working a horse on the bit. And so clap your hands very, very, just clap them really fast together and do it very hard.
You said clap them?
Clap them. Just clap once and try to have the least amount of time that your hands are actually touching. So just clap them and release. Okay? Oh, you made him spook a little bit. Okay. See how much time it took with your hands actually in contact? Yeah. Okay. Now do it absolutely as light as you can.
Okay.
Now, how much, see how the force was different, but the amount of time was the same? Mm-hmm. Okay, so what we need to do, so this is what you can do is you adjust the force with your thumb now. Instead of clapping your hands together, you're using your thumb against the side of his body or his flank. And so you're pushing into it just as about the same amount of time as it would take to make that clap. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought, okay, how can I give this to you as something visually that you can do yourself? And that's what I'm talking about when we press and release. Only push on them for as long as it takes to actually make contact and then release it. Now, the force that you must use is enough to make him move off or move away from you. So that's your tool, because if you just pushed into him, you could hit him with your hand and it would kind of do the same thing, except it wouldn't be uncomfortable. It'd be okay. But when you push on him for like 3 seconds, then it gives him time to push into you instead of just react away from you. And that's the big tool we'll have to use, is using your thumb. And just like Sean Connery in the Presidio, you're going to push him off with that strong thumb. And so in the meantime, every time he does something that you don't like, then is contrary to your control, then we have to correct him for that. So these are going to be very, very small things. Everything, again, that you can think of, because you remember you got that eye in the back of your head now because you're a horse mom. So you see and know all. And make sure that when he is doing anything, that you're catching it and then you're correcting him for it. And even if you think that he did something but he didn't, correct him anyway. He just needs it out of principle. Okay. So it doesn't, you can overcorrect at one point and correct them to the point where they make him neurotic, where if he does something wrong, you're correcting him for 2 or 3 minutes without stopping. That's too much. As long as he's not doing the aggressive or that assertive move. So let's do this. Let's start just like we did last time. And let's just have you move him off, and he's kind of 90 degrees to the rail right now. So let's move him off so he is turned parallel to the rail like you did last time. Before you start, though, any questions? Any comments?
Not so far. I don't think
okay. Okay, and don't be afraid to use both hands. You don't have to use just one. You can use them both.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, bud. Come on.
Good.
Scoop. Come on. Oggy. Come on. Come on. Oh, good boy.
Very good. Look how annoyed he's getting. He's turning his body, he's turning his head, he's swishing his tail.
Come on.
There you go. And there you go. Very good. Praise him for that when he moves all the way over.
Good boy.
You can go all the way. You kind of want to go until he stops, and then 1 or 2 more steps on your command, not on his just wanting to stop.
Okay. Come on. Good boy.
Very good. One more step. Reach up and...
You almost got it.
Go ahead and use your left hand on his rib cage and the right hand up on his hip. Up on his... Okay. Right in the middle of his hind quarter.
Oh, good boy.
There, good job.
Good job.
Excellent. Now, spend some time praising him for that. Petting him just like you're doing. You're doing exactly the right thing. Look at him blink. Look at him blink. He might chew or lick you in a little bit, but he's still a little bit mad. But notice he's not fighting you like he did last time.
Yeah. Good boy.
Give him a little minute to think about this. Give him a second. And notice how he was trying to evade you by backing up to begin with.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign, because what is that telling you?
I'm not sure.
Okay. No, that's fair. That's real fair, because I'm asking you a very vague question. In his behavior, what he was doing was trying to get away from you, which is what you want him to do, but he didn't want to come away from you straight away. He was trying to back up away from you, just trying to avoid instead of comply. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of difference between avoidance and compliance, but at least he wasn't pushing into you. So you kind of see how that... Yeah. So you're making headway just right there. So very good. I like that. I like that you're attentive to him. I thought he might lick a little bit, but I haven't seen him do that. Okay, so now just go ahead and back away from him a little bit, and just let him stand there. We'll let him think about this. There, look at his ears come back. Now he's kind of relaxed. We'll see if he may or may not drop his head. He's pretty relaxed as it is. Looks like he's putting most of his weight on that off hind foot, so that's good. That's okay. Oh, there's a little more relaxed. Okay. Good. Now, when you're doing this, be very, very careful. You notice how he rounded his body away from you, and his head was coming at you? He would have tried to probably nip at you if you wasn't tied up. So he's a little bit angry. He's upset. He doesn't think that he'd ought to be treated this way. And you also want to watch that hind end. I don't think he would kick you, really hard, but he might strike out and reach out and kind of cow kick. You know what a cow kick is, right? Where they kind of kick off to the side. Yes. So be careful of that. Watch that so he doesn't catch you. He can try to cow kick, and if he does, blast him, because kicking is not allowed. I mean, we're going to be kind of rough with him at times, because we're going to try to meet his aggression and then exceed it, so he has consequences to what he's thought, especially what he's thought, and then what he's carried through with what his actions are. So I like what I'm seeing so far. He's not pushing into you. So you, believe it or not, are winning. Oh, there he dropped his head. Very good. Very good. Mm-hmm. And this is very low intensiveness. There's not much here you're doing to really wind him up, except for just making him mind. So let's do this now. Let's go ahead and move him 180 degrees so that he's pointed the other way, with you pushing him from his offside. But before we do that, to make it a little easier for you, why don't you take about half of the slack out of that rope so that he can't move so far back on you. He has to move away from you.
Okay.
Now, for those that are watching, it probably seems like she was just jabbing him constantly, but yeah, he wasn't moving, so she had to do that. That's necessary for her to do to get his attention and actually make him move. So it was very good, Nicole. How many days did it take you to recover from last time?
Oh God, maybe a couple.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard work. This is not easy to do. So for those that think, this is all you can do, this pretty easy. It's not. It's not easy at all. And those things that are rewarding most of the time are not that easy to do. So go ahead and go to his offside and see if you can just move him around now the same way. And the goal is just to walk up to him and then get him to move away from you without ever touching him. Look at that. That's better.
Great. Good.
See how he's backing up? He's trying to avoid you. Very good. Very good. Very good.
Come on.
You're doing great. Keep him going. Keep him going. You're doing great. I like it. I like what I'm seeing. Oh, Nicole, look at you. Right there. And good. Oh, he was gonna push into you. Nice job. You stopped it.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent job. Excellent job.
Good job, buddy.
Now, do you feel like you're in a little more control?
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, exactly. Now that is him listening to you. He has consequences, so that is outstanding job. Very good job. Very good job. And that was hardly any fight at all. I know you were putting some pressure in there, but he needs to understand the moment you walk up to him, when you ask him to move, hey, it's going to be uncomfortable if I don't. So great job. Very good job. I can't tell you enough how good and well that you executed that.
Thanks.
All right. So now that we've established a little bit of control, I am loving this. Look at him, nice and calm. We're gonna make this mind mush and mold it like we want yet. So let's do this. Scratch him, pet him, love him. He's done a great job. You've told him good boy. Mm-hmm. That's great. Now let's go ahead and let's do this twice more. This time, let's go ahead and move him 180 the other way, and then we'll sit a little bit and talk, just like we're doing. Let him relax, and then you'll do it again this direction, so he ends up over here, and then we'll take him in hand and do a little bit of work.
Okay.
Okay, and we'll see. The whole goal is to make him move easier and easier. So take it away.
Nope. Keep going.
Very good. Very good. Keep going.
Come on. Oh. Good boy. Go on. Go. A little further. Go on. Come on, Oggy.
If you need to put both hands next to each other at his ribs, that's okay too. Use them both together. Put your fists together and then push him over. Very good.
Good boy. Come on.
Excellent.
There you go. Good job.
Excellent. He wanted to quit.
Good boy, Oggy.
And you wouldn't let him. You made him walk. You made him take another step or two, about a half a step and then a full step. That's excellent. Good job. Now look, is he?
Good boy.
Is he licking at all? I didn't think so.
No.
Okay. All right.
Good boy.
Good. Now let's just go ahead and move him right away. Move him all the way back over. Ask him. Very good. Very good. Very good.
Keep going. Good boy. Keep going. Keep going.
Very good.
There you go. One more. Half step. There you go. Good job.
Great job. Great job.
Good boy.
All right. And I know that this seems like this is like just the dumbest, slowest stuff in the world. But you're trying to change his mind, and you've got to get control of him. Yeah, you got to get control of him without having him either pull away from you or run over the top of you. And he's actually a little bit better in hand, like you said. I noticed that last week than when he's tied up. So it's very, very important, though, that we find those spots where he's not amenable to you doing anything with him, and we fix that. And when he's standing here like this, this is a he hasn't even begun to try to crush you into that rail at all. Which that's always a positive when Nicole doesn't get crushed,
Right.
We like that. Preservation's a good thing. All right. So, can you pick his front feet up?
Yeah, we can try.
Why don't you pick it up and hold it? And if you want to just have some fun and spend some time, is he shod or is he barefoot?
He's barefoot.
Okay, go ahead and just pop and tap on the bottom of his feet. He's been trimmed a number of times. I just don't know how he is. Go ahead and hit that thing like it's somebody you don't like. There you go. Take the palm of your hand and hit that thing and let him know you're there, because that's what's gonna happen with a hammer or. There we go. And he's not trying to take that away from you at all. That's good. So what I'm going to have you do now, hang on to his foot and then just back up and pull his foot out forward straight in front of you, or in front of him. So you're going to just let him, without it touching the ground, there you go. Just pull it straight and pull it straight in front of him, and then just hold it until he resists. There he lets it go. And he's just got to hang on to it. There you go. Good. Talk to him. We just I want to make sure that he's not going to try to pull that foot away from you whenever you do anything with him.
Yeah.
Very good. And I would suspect that he's going to be okay that way, but that you never know what we're going to find. Oh, now he wants to try to put some weight on you.
Yeah.
All right. I'd go ahead and just drop his foot and praise him for being good.
Good boy.
Good. Now, did he take that away, or did you let that go and then he took it?
I let that go.
Okay, good. That's what it looked like to me, but I just want to be sure that if even he starts to pull away when you're doing it, pick it back up. Don't let him have any choice like he did that. You know, he can just do what you allow him to do, not have any decision making at all. All right, let's go to a hind foot and do the same thing. And just pick it up and hold it. There we go. And just kind of just drop it down a little bit. There you go, like that. Now, can you walk it straight out a little bit behind him? Kind of hold it, support it. There you go, like that. We don't want you to hurt your back or anything, but we want to just make sure he holds that. Not that, shoeing horses that's one of my least favorite things to do, but it's hard. But he's not resisting you, right?
No, he's being very polite about it.
Very good. Okay. Good. So do the same thing with that hind foot then. Let's just move it forward just like you did the front. And don't let it touch the ground. And remember, that's the foot that he's had all of the inflammation in. So if there was going to be one that was going to be a little bit ouchy, or, that he would maybe resist, I would expect it to be that one. But he's doing really, really good.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Now let's go ahead and do the other side, both front and back. But when we do that, let's move him around completely out to the other side, which is one more exercise we're working into this. So now let's ask him to go. There you go. Ask him a lot lighter than you did before. Oh, look at that. With a lot less force. Look at that. Good job, Nicole.
Come on. Good boy. One more. One.
Look at him, look at you. He says, I don't want to have to do this. Don't make me resist you.
Come on. Come on.
Very good. Keep it up. You're doing great.
Come on.
He has to give. Look at him round that back. He is not happy about it, but hey, that's just the way it is.
Good boy.
Excellent.
Good job.
Excellent. Good job. Now he's licking.
Oh, he's
there we
lip.
go.
Good boy.
Very good. Excellent job. You did a great job there. Did you notice when you first started, you didn't have to push and poke on him near as much?
Yeah, I used very light pressure at first.
Yes. And then as he resisted, you had to increase the pressure, and that's exactly the right thing to do.
Boy, Oggy.
Very good. Very good. I like that. Okay, anytime you want to drop it. We want to make sure you're not going to hurt yourself, Nicole. I don't want you to, pull your back or anything like that. So.
Oh, no, I think I'll be good.
Okay, because I'm not going to ask you to jump through burning hoops of fire or anything like that. But there you go. Can you get your knee under? There you go. Good. Very good. And the only reason I asked you to put that leg, he was kind of resisting before on the other hind because it was up. It seemed like it was up pretty high, but I didn't know what he was going to be, how he was going to be feeling. So if a horse resists you like that when you're doing that, just kind of put their foot down a little closer to the ground to begin with. Oh, there you go. He's resisting a little. Now go ahead and just pick it up, pull it forward a little bit more. Just back up a step. There you go. Don't let him have it. Very good. Go ahead and pick it up. Little tiny bit. There you go. Yeah, and he's plumb good with that. Very good. I'm just looking for anything that he's gonna say no to you about, and that whatever he does, we want to correct that. All right, you can drop it anytime you wish. Very good. Praise him. Yes. Good job. All right. Well, this has been relatively successful. So let's go. Let's do some walking a little bit, and I want to see how you can get him to stop and back up without touching him. If he'll really watch you as you move, you just suddenly stop, and then he stops, hopefully behind you. Very good. Oh, I like it. Keep going. Now he's getting lazy on you, so keep going. Don't let. What he did is he kind of stopped so you would stop. Did you feel that?
Right.
Yeah. So don't let that happen. Don't let him be the one who. Oh, nice. He started to bring a front foot forward and stopped in mid-stride. Very good. And then just. Very good. Much better. Okay. Let's just walk him out a ways. See if he'll pick up the speed a little bit. We'll just kind of get him to do a fast walk or almost a trot. I'm just watching his hind legs, and he looks fine. It looks like he's just slightly favoring that off hind a little bit. He's putting a little less weight on it for a little less time than he is his near side. So big circles to the left, that's good. You're doing great.
In the other direction.
Yeah, he started out pretty even, and then I noticed he started putting a little bit less weight on that foot. Okay, now, whenever you want, suddenly stop and back up. Make him follow you. Very good. Very good. Good job. Good job. I'm liking that. You're doing good. You're doing really good. Okay, how's that feel? Do you feel like he's kind of resisting when you pull on him to get to lead?
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. So what we want to do is the same technique as you do with your thumbs, only with the bridle or the halter lead, and that is bump and release, bump and release, bump and release, so that he comes to that. And if he's halfway smart, and he's about 99% smart on that scale. You don't have to worry about him not getting something because he's slow. He'll figure that out, that he's got to come faster, but he's only going to come as fast as he has to. And that is part of his shtick, is it's like, oh, I don't want to have to. But if you turn him loose in a round curl, then all of a sudden he's got all kinds of energy. You got to slow him down.
Yeah.
So it's all in the context of what he thinks he needs. So there you go. So pull, release. Just bump his face and bump that. There you go. Better. Okay, release, and then just get him to walk. Bump him 2 or 3 times, and then just walk and see if he'll stay with you. There you go. There you go. Like that. Yes. And let go. Okay. Not bad. All right. Do you have the round corral clear?
Not quite. I can move that bucket out of there.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Let's take him in there, and we're just gonna let him move around, but we're gonna do it on our command, and we're not gonna do it fast. We're gonna try to make him go mostly in a counterclockwise direction, and I just want to walk him to begin with. But I'm gonna walk him and then have you stop him. Oh, nice. That's what you want to see. When you stop, he stops. Very good. Good job. I like that. That big old eye in the back of your head. You saw that. Nice. Okay.
Did you want me to take the lead rope off?
Let's take the halter off. And my philosophy to that is that a horse knows when you've got a lead rope on him, and that's why lunge lines are fine, but they're kind of a distant second to being able to work that horse with absolutely nothing on him, because when you're working on a lunge line, you're still connected to him. You're still controlling them with the line. There we go. Look at him. Right. He's kind of like, okay, what do you want? So let's do this. When he looks at you, just walk to the left and see if he'll follow you. Just take off and walk. There he goes. Okay. Now stop and go towards the center and see if he'll follow you back towards the center. Okay, he kind of broke it. He might come around, but doesn't look like it. All right. So he's figured out that he is freewheeling on his own. So let's just ask him, because we want him to go to the counterclockwise. We want to turn him. So if you step backwards, right from where you're at, just go ahead and keep walking backwards. A little more, about 3 more steps. And there we go. Okay. Now just point to the left and tell him to, and then kind of cluck so he can see it. So point towards the center. There we go. Now kind of walk towards the rail and turn it so your back is parallel to the rail. So turn to the left. There you go. Now just kind of slip in there towards him. What we want to do is turn him to the inside. There you go, just like that. Yep, you're doing everything. There we go. And just gently turn him. Put your hand out to the right to make him turn towards the center. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving.
Buddy.
Yeah, and okay, what he's doing, look at that tail swish. He is just moving that tail, swishing that tail. He is saying no to you. So pop him on the neck, push him around.
What?
There you go. Push, push, push. And then just drive him away. There you go. Now stay in the center. And make him go into the counterclockwise direction. Oh, other way. Other counterclockwise. There. Look at him shake his head a little bit.
What?
Okay. Do it fast. There you go. Do it faster.
Boy.
Very good. Now stay in the center. Don't get in front of his head. Stay pointed back towards his hip. There you go.
Run.
We're just going to have him, and don't let him stop. Just make him walk at that speed, because this is good movement for him. Nice slow exercise. But really be watching his behavior. Notice he's tipping his nose out. He's not wanting to look at you.
Yeah.
Notice that? Yeah. And his body, his side is rounded towards you a little bit. He's not flexed in. And whatever you do, don't let him go faster than this. If he starts to do that, then stop him and cut him off. He's staying out against the rail, but notice that nose. He's like, oh, there it came in once, twice. That's starting to get a little bit better. And all we're doing is just giving him a direction to go. And the biggest thing there, Nicole, was the turn. Notice how he resisted you on that turn. He's not flicking his tail right now. He gives you all kinds of signs that he's irritated and doesn't want to have to do anything when you ask him. But once you got to moving, then he stops that. He quits. He's like, oh, okay, well, that didn't work, so I'm not annoyed anymore. Very good. I like that you're not chasing him. You're standing right in the center of the corral. Very good. Now, I don't want to turn his head away from you. And the only reason why is I don't want to torque that leg any more than we have to. And if we stopped and turned him back to the right by turning his head towards the rail and his hind end towards you, it would really torque that hind leg a lot. So we don't want to do that. We just want to work into this exercise. Eventually we'll get there, but we just want to work. Oh, good job. Make him move. He's decided he's wanted to stop. So very good. So let's go around about one more round from where you're at now. And then we'll just stop him. And then we'll have him turn towards you just like you did the other time, only the other direction.
Okay, so when I ask him to stop, how do you want me to do that?
Just take a step back and say, whoa. Okay, put your arm down because you're telling him to go. So just step back and say, whoa.
Okay. Whoa. Good
Very
boy.
Good. Very good. Good job. Very good. Look how powerful you are. You made that horse stop by not even staying with him. You actually got further away. So what you did is you just took the pressure off.
Responded really well.
Yeah, well, absolutely. You took the pressure away and you gave him the verbal cue. Oh, look at that, dropping that head. Very good. Very good. That's just some fly action there. That wasn't annoyance.
Yeah.
So he'll stay there as long as you want. So let's go ahead and walk over towards the gate and then turn to your right, parallel your back to the rail, and then point for him give him a direction to go, and then slip up there. There you go. And give him there you go. I was saying give him a cluck. There you go. Good job. You're starting to move. Now walk towards him, walk towards him, and push him. Very good. And make him go. Excellent job. Very good.
Good.
Very good.
Come on.
That's very interesting behavior there. He's kind of snorting a little bit, kind of blowing, like he's dropping anxiety, and he's also dropping his head at the same time. It's very interesting behavior for a horse that's not, working hard. And shouldn't be anxious.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells me he didn't resist near as hard that way, which is typical for him. He does not want to move the other direction quite as well. He's much better on his when you're on his offside.
Yeah.
Make him move a little faster. He's kind of slowing down on you a bit, and he's walking fine. There you go. Good job. Yeah, there you go. See the difference? Just that little bit of speed makes a big difference. Because now he started tipping his nose out away from you. Trying to do it again, but that's all right. Oh, there's a tail flip of annoyance. He's not trying to shortcut you in the corral. That's really good. He's kind of walking around that wet spot where you dump that barrel out, but that's okay. That's all you're doing. There you go. Is just making him stay at the speed you want him to go and the direction you want him to go, and that he doesn't shortcut you. Very good. And we're just going to do that, a little tail flip there, slight one. What we're going to do is just do this until he does not keep his nose tipped out, that he actually starts to pay attention to you and acknowledge that, yeah, you're probably the one that's making me do this. There we go. There's a tip in. Starting to tip towards you a little bit. Tipped out a little bit. Very good. Now he's watching you again. All right. Let's go about another round and then just have him stop. I don't see any issues with his movement. There shouldn't be. I mean, we're being really, really light on him.
Mm-hmm. Right. Whoa. Good boy.
Very good. Very good. Praise him some more. Keep praising him.
Good boy, Oggy.
Really good.
Good job.
We didn't drop that head.
Good cutie. Good job, Oggy.
Is he licking? Chewing?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay, why is he looking at you like that, do you suppose?
Not sure.
He's probably looking at you saying, okay, do we get to quit now? Because he was, so, yeah, so we've gone through the stages of he didn't want to come when you asked him to come. Then he got to the stages of like, oh, if I come to you, we get to quit because we got him stopped on the wrong spot of that or for the wrong intent. And it only took a couple of times to do that. Now he's looking at you like exactly like he's supposed to. He's like, oh, okay, now am I supposed to come to you or what am I supposed to do? So he's kind of checked out now. He's kind of watching you, but he's checking out what's on the ground. So why don't you go ahead and walk up to him and stroke his neck, tell him you did great, and then see if he'll walk away with you and you'll follow or stay right at your shoulder. There you go. Very good.
Hey. Good boy. No nibbling. Good boy.
That was a good correction.
Well,
Okay.
maybe not.
Nope. What I normally do is, okay, it's not going to happen now because you're too far away. So
Right.
you go right up to him, and then it's almost like you got a rubber band attached to him. And the more you pull, the more he's going to want to come with you. But they rarely want to come straight away. So if you go at an angle away from them, like at a 45-degree angle, they're going to turn their head towards you, and that head will help pull the rest of that body with you. Is he just trying to nibble at you or nip?
Right. He was just nibbling.
Okay, go ahead and go. Pop him for that. Yep, no, that's unacceptable. Now, ask him to come. I pat my leg. Okay, you're going to have to go back to him and get his attention. Stroke him on the neck. So right now, he's wanting to control you.
Hey, buddy.
All right. Now, pat your leg just like you would call a dog and ask him to come with you. And just kind of move very slowly. See if he'll come with you.
Oggy.
Okay, he's going to ignore you. So make him move.
Yeah.
Make him, just push him around. And we may need to get that whip for you. Yeah. Okay, so let's stop right there. Let's not make it any worse. So what we need to do is we need to get that whip out for you, which is just an extension of your arm, and to drive him off because he's like, yeah, okay. Me doing nothing means I'm in control, especially when she asks me. So we got to get past that.
Gotcha.
And which is kind of his base personality. He is all about doing the opposite of what you want. And look at him. He'll watch her. Maybe even come to the gate. Checking things out. So now remember, this whip is just an extension of your arm. It's not going to be anything used, first. You'll ask him first, and if he complies, then great. And if he doesn't, you'll ask, and then pop that whip behind him. So go ahead and ask him to move.
Let's go.
Then move. Go ahead and use a whip. There you go. And we've got him so he's not torquing his foot. This is good. Got him headed the right direction. Now stop him anywhere right in there where it was before you wanted him to come with you.
All right. Slow. Slow. What do I do if he doesn't stop?
Okay. So a couple things you're doing. See how you're walking in a circle? There. Now say whoa. Now say whoa and mean it.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Okay, whoa. Whoa. Buddy.
Okay. So there we go. So back straight up. What you're doing now is backing in a circle. So back up. Nope. Back. Stop. Okay. He just kind of stopped because he wanted to. He didn't stop because you told him to.
Yeah.
So go ahead. So go ahead and ask him to move forward again. And step. Right. So there you go. And move him, make him go a little faster than he's just sauntering. So let's make him speed up a little bit. Okay, very good. Now, when you tell him whoa, you are asking him to whoa. Don't ask him to whoa. Tell him to whoa.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Go on.
Very good. Better.
Whoa.
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 Okay, see how you're turning in a circle? Okay, now you're about 90 degrees from when you first asked him. It's hard to do because you focus on the horse. Yeah. That's okay. And it's a lot harder to stop a horse at slow speed, believe it or not, than it is at high speed. They tend to more want to stop at that higher speed. Oh, look at him. He's asking. So go ahead and walk. Just drop your whip and walk into him. And go up to his neck because he's actually complied mostly. Now go ahead and turn to your left and walk towards the center and ask him to come with you. Tell him to face you. Pat your leg. Okay, he broke off from it. So do it again. Let's give him about 3 chances. So walk back up to him. Do it again.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, see what he's doing is he's ignoring you.
Yeah.
So this is not good. So ask him to come away with you. Go ahead and touch his face. Get him up there, get his attention. And there you go. Now ask him to come with you.
Come on. Let's go.
Okay, get your whip and make him move. He's gonna have to learn that you're in control. So you're going to have to move faster too. We got to get you to be more assertive. He's got to feel your energy come up. There you go. Now make him move a little bit faster. Make him move a little faster than he has it all today.
Come on.
A little more. We don't want him to trot, but we want him to move fast. There we go, like that. Better. Now stop him anytime you can.
Whoa.
Don't turn. Straight back, straight. Now you turned. Back up, faster. There you go. There, better. See how you backed into him? Or backed away, so he put pressure on himself to stop. Yeah. You got to make sure that you don't turn when you back up, and you find at the point where you're going to walk away from and walk straight back from that. And usually it's like the middle of a panel or or two panels meet as a landmark, and then walk straight across the corral from that backwards instead of turning. And it's so easy to turn that they keep moving and they keep walking because you allow them room to move into you. So if you step straight back, they're eventually going to walk into you. Look at him hang that head over the fence. He's like, no, I'm checked out. So go ahead and drop your whip.
Oh, buddy.
Ask you, and then go up and pet him and we're just going to try to get him to take a couple of steps with you. That's all we're after.
Hey.
There we go.
Come with me?
Yep, there you go.
Come on.
Pat your leg hard.
Oggy. Let's go. Oh, come on.
Put him on him again. Go ahead and walk up and touch him. Kind of reattach that rubber band. There we go. Better. And have him come with you.
Let's go. Oh, Oggy.
Okay, so grab your whip and make him explosively go out of there. And what I mean explosively is just faster. There you go. There, he's actually moving. Like that. Very good. Better. And we gotta get you to move faster when you do things, so that too much time doesn't pass between the time of, oh, we need to correct this till we get him to do something else.
Oh, okay.
See how he slowed down?
Come on.
There you go. Very good. That's better. Better. Okay, go ahead and stop him and ask him to come with you.
Whoa.
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 That's better. You're getting there. Okay. Now drop your whip, walk up, praise him, and do the same thing. We'll see if we can get him to come with us.
Good job. You want to come with me? Oh. Try it one more time.
Go ahead and pull his chin around to come with you. We want to win this. There you go. And pat your leg and walk away with him.
Oggy, come on.
Okay. Go out one more time. Ask him to come with you by grabbing his chin and pulling him around. We'll cheat a little bit.
Go ahead. Let's go.
There you go. There you go.
Oh,
there.
Boy.
Now walk away. Now walk away. Good. He's kind of come. Oh, too far. Okay. So you got to go back to him and tie onto him again. Put that rubber band on his neck and stretch him, pull him, give him that pressure to come to you. There you go. There you go. Pull him.
Good boy. Come on.
Walk away. Ask him to keep coming.
Let's go.
So step to the side a little bit. Go to the right a little bit more. Get closer to him and then come back towards halfway between his hip and his head. Kind of that direction. Go ahead and put your hands on him. Stroke him. Put the hands on the other side of his face and then pull him. Look at him. He's just ignoring you. God, this horse is so infuriating.
Come on. Oh, you can do it. Come on, buddy.
Now keep coming around to the right.
Good
keep coming
boy.
around to the right.
Come on. You're so stubborn. Oh, my goodness. Come on. He's not a fan.
Okay.
Come on,
now turn to the right. Turn to the right. Make him turn in a circle.
Come on. Let's go.
As soon as he starts to move, let go of him and have him follow you. Keep going. Ask him to come. Ask him to come. Keep coming. All right. He just disengaged.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Grab that whip and let's work him around here a couple of times. What we're going to do is we're going to make him move fast around here. I've changed my mind about this horse a little. Make him move fast. Make him trot.
Come on.
Get on him now.
Let's go.
Quick, Nicole. Make him go.
Good.
Okay, stop. Now stop. Say whoa.
Whoa. Good
Now
boy.
go up to him. Now go up to him and do the same. See if he'll come to you this time. Drop your whip. There you go.
Hey.
Now walk off with him. Yeah, he's going to pull on you. There we go. 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, and stop and have him come to you. Have him come to you. Stop. Ask him to come.
Come here.
So back up
Oggy,
a step,
come.
but back straight up a step. Make that head come over towards you. It's all about controlling his body. There you go. He's starting to move that hip around. He's starting to come towards you by default.
Good boy.
There you go. All right, good. Right there. Just stop right there and stroke his neck. Pet him. We're done. This is as good as we're going to get out of him today because he's just a puss head. How hot is it there?
Oh, yeah.
What's your temperature?
I think today it was like 90, 95.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty hot. That's kind of no excuse because he should still be complying. But I understand that the heat, they want to lock up too. But he's being just a jerk because he's trying to reestablish some control. He's lost a little control there at the where you're tying up at the hitching post. But so he's going to try everything he can to be able to establish more control, and that's basically what he's doing by telling you, no, I don't think so. So what we'll do, I think he's looking at me in the camera too. So what? Let's go ahead and continue what you were doing this last week, because you were doing more walking with him, right? And getting him to stay in hand with you, and then you were doing the same stuff at the corral. Now, do you see what I'm trying to get you to do with touching him on the neck? And it's like when you touch him, you're putting like a rubber band on his neck, and then as you walk away, you can kind of feel, imagine a rubber band being pulled and get tighter and tighter and more pressure. And you kind of keep that distance to where you're trying to make more distance to get him to turn with you without breaking that rubber band. And as soon as his head pops back, the rubber band is broke. So we want to, if you want to work on a couple of things like that this week, feel free to do that, because we do want him to follow you around. And he's going to get smart in a hurry. And that's one of my fears about this is, we can't do enough to discipline him when he needs to be disciplined. And a lot of times discipline is hard work, or working a little bit harder. So we're at that point. So do you have any questions or comments? Anything unclear that I'm
not so far.
Okay. All right. I mean, it's we're moving really slow, and that's okay.
Actually, my only question I think would be is, like, when I'm trying to get him to follow me, what is that teaching him? What
that's teaching him is that when you ask him to follow you, you're the dominant member of the herd, and what you're doing is you're stopping the work, and then they have to come to you. And every horse, if you watch a herd of horses, that dominant horse determines where they go. And so you're also asking him. It's just as a practical matter. It's like, okay, I want you to come over here without my hands on you, and you're still controlling them, but you're wanting them to accept you as a leader. Is essentially what it is. Good job. Is it okay? I'm supposed to be doing what you say. I get it. I'll do it all day long. And so that's what we're after, is putting enough pressure on them, and then they know that unless they follow you, they're going to have to work again. And nobody wants to work. None of us. So. But one thing we need to work with you on is being a little faster in your movement at times when it matters for you to move, and to say when you have to discipline him and he hasn't done it and you got to get him to move, you got to be very quick about that. That transition from him saying no to you making him do what you're supposed to do should take less than a second. And that's not a lot of time. Cool. So less than 1,001, when you're counting in your head, you should already be making him do something else what you wanted. Very good. Yeah, he's just being a jerk. And then, when you're asking him to stop, a stop shouldn't really be an ask. you ask him to move, ask him to go, but a stop is a command because you need them to respond.
Right.
And so, kind of the way you're asking him is whoa, 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 instead of whoa. Make sure that they hear that, and then pretty soon, and the more they get that, you can just go whoa, and they'll pick up on that because you're teaching them to listen to your verbal cues. So other than that, you did great. I'm really impressed with what you did at the beginning, at the corral, at the hitch and rail. Very good job. Very good job. You can tell you've worked on him a little bit. Yeah. And he's still resisting, but he's gonna that's what he is. So that's what we got to try to work on him with. So, all right. Good job. I did see him as we moved him fast. I saw him kind of limp on that leg. So we don't want to do too much of that, but he needs to know he's got to move. And so we just have to be careful of that. And I noticed he just took his weight off of that, but he didn't do it until then. So we'll just have to keep an eye and monitor him as we go. So asking you to do a lot with limited tools. So it's kind of tough, So we'll just keep at it, and we'll get some success here. We'll make it work.
Yeah, got a lot to work on this week.
Yeah. And go ahead and have him go over those, some cavalettes if you can, just to keep him loosened up and exercise that leg some too.
Okay.
All right. Well, good job, Nicole.
Well, Brandon and Nicole, I just want to say how interesting this is. It's really hard to keep your own energy up when you don't want to energize the horse. This is way more difficult than when you have a horse who's not confined by a physical limitation.
That's exactly right. This is not going to be easy, and didn't want to give any false pretenses before that it would be, because I know what this is like, and it's very, very hard. And honestly, so people understand in the real world, we're taking an animal that he's got some value. We don't want to throw him away. I mean, there's a metaphor for life for a lot of us here, right? Not all of us come out of this unscathed, and either physically or mentally, and you don't want to throw somebody away, but in the real world, he would be discarded because of his injury.
That's right. That's exactly right. But we're not going to do that. We're not the real world. Right. No, that's right. And that's what I'm saying. Here's the difference. But we still got to have him so that you can handle him, and he's not going to be an absolute menace. Just a quick story to kind of highlight how fast and how they learn. The Battle of the Little Bighorn. There was a horse there that was found. That was a survivor that had a bunch of arrows in him, some bullet wounds in him, and his name was Comanche. And I believe he was actually owned by Major Reno. And they found him and they nursed him back to health. And then he went back to Fort Riley, Kansas, and lived the rest of his life at the fort. And that horse had free reign of the fort. He could go anywhere. And some of the officers' housing, some of the officers' wives lived there, and they had flowers and gardens. And that horse would go in there and eat their flowers. He'd eat their everything up. And one of the wives went after him with a broom one day to shoo him out of there, and caused herself and her husband, an army officer or cavalry officer, a huge issue for her, because you were not supposed to do anything with this horse. Well, this horse learned so quickly he could do anything, go anywhere, and there were no repercussions. And he was an absolute menace to deal with on that fort. So they learned quickly without being taught. I mean, he learned that on his own. And my understanding is the horse was the sole survivor of the cavalry side. There were a lot of Native American survivors, but no survivors on the cavalry side. It was the horse alone that survived.
Well, actually, that's kind of a misnomer. There were several. He was a bay, I believe, bay horse, and in the cavalry days, they recognized their groups by riding different colored horses. And Custer's group were the gray ponies. He had all gray horses, and Custer was out in the lead. All of his men got wiped out, but Benteen and Reno were further up towards the Little Wolf Mountains, and so he was. And they had a skirmish on the bottom. There's no doubt there. But there were a lot of survivors
in the cavalry, but not of Custer's group that was in there. But Benteen and Reno were back, and this, I believe, was Reno's horse.
Yeah. Well, my understanding was that none of Custer's troops survived.
No, they didn't. No, not all of Custer's men were wiped out, but all of Custer's men were riding the white or gray ponies, gray horses, because that's how they could coordinate on a battlefield. They could see the difference between sorrel horses, gray horses, black horses, and I mean, it's just kind of that was the way they could tell the movements of where those different troops were in those days.
I did not know that, and I appreciate your telling me that, Brandon. What a deep history.
Yeah, it's pretty neat, pretty cool. Those guys were smarter than some of the things we don't even think of. So. Yeah. Well, Nicole, you need to get out of the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon and Nicole.
Absolutely. And we'll see you guys again next week, all right?
Yep. Thank you.
Outstanding.
Everyone.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye.